Hey all, welcome to 2022, Happy New Year, and welcome to Monday. Of course, it's countdown day here on the channel. We've already looked at, in previous lists, the best and worst for the entire War for Cybertron trilogy. Well, now we can finally look at the year end. This one, as voted on by fans, will be the top 10 best Transformers of 2021. Next week we will do the fan-voted top 10 worst of 2021. And then after all of that, I will do my personal best and worst of 2021. That's kind of what's happening. So, today, again, as I just said, we will be looking at the best Transformers, any line, of 2021 as voted on by you guys. That's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot Counts Down. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, my baby, hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is down in the description below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, also down in the description below, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Let's give this some bones first so that we know exactly what we're talking about. This is the top 10 best Transformers as voted on by fans. There were about 660 votes this time around. And whether I agree with them or whether you agree with them, this is what the majority rule voted on. And I left it open to anything released in 2021, any line, official, third party, whatever. To give this some structure, so to speak, it's basically from Kingdom Wave 1, even though some people did get that in the tail end of 2020, but Kingdom Wave 1 up to the end of Kingdom. The accompanying selects and whatever else from third party, for example, that was released this year. There were some votes that rolled in for things released in 2019 and 2020, so they didn't count, but we'll talk about that a bit later. Everything that's here did have a release within this year. Some of these appeared on 2020 lists for some people because they did have it slightly early. I didn't, which is why I left the voting open from the first wave of Kingdom onward. It was an interesting year. It was definitely an interesting year. I agree with some of this. I don't agree with some of this. I'm sure that you will feel the same way, but here are the best according to the votes. And we're going to, of course, start with the honorable mentions first. There are 5 of them. Every one of the honorable mentions had the exact same number of votes. They are the HasLab Unicron. And I'll tell you this, the votes that came in for the HasLab Unicrons, very, very interesting. All of the people that voted for the HasLab Unicron are people that backed it. I don't think, and I could be wrong here, but just based on what I saw in interactions and stuff, I don't think anybody voted for it unless they backed it. So that's very telling right there. We also had, as an honorable mention, the Robson Optimus Prime, the self-transforming thing. Again, I get it. People that went in on it are the ones who voted for it. And honestly, there's an argument certainly to be made for both of those probably taking that top slot because they are considered to be crown jewel pieces, so to speak. You know, like some people have said that they got the self-transforming Optimus, the Tox and everything because it's as though Optimus is actually alive. I get it. It's not for me. It's the most gimmick-rich thing in the world, but I understand it. The HasLab Unicron, I mean, we all know what I think of that thing. Nothing about it has ever impressed me at all, personally. Even when I see pictures of it and people are like, look at this centerpiece, I'm like, it looks awful. Like, I don't get it. But I understand that there's a segment out there that certainly does get it, and that's why those votes went there. Huffer was an honorable mention. Artfire was an honorable mention. I found that one interesting. And I think this one definitely should have made the list. It didn't, but man, it should have. And that is MMC's Optus Pexus. I'm pretty sure it's an Optimus Prime. But man, that or Nox, either of them, really special. Something really, really tremendous and mind-bogglingly good. So here's an example of I think that they should have made the list. Didn't. didn't. So who did? Well, you know what we're going to do. And you know you can never predict the votes. We're going to kick things off with number 10, a first. Coming in at number 10 is a shock to me, and it's this guy, the Kingdom Optimus Primal. Actually, this is the Netflix version, but the Kingdom Optimus Primal. And the people who voted for him basically said, look, the molded in detail is superb. The paint is slathered on this guy. The gorilla mode was functional. The joints and hinges in the robot mode are all like butter. I can't argue it. All of that is very, very true. Those who voted for him were definitely big-time Beast Wars fans who really kind of stepped up and said, hey, this is the Optimus Primal we've all been waiting for about 25 years. Can't argue when people say that they've been waiting for something for 25 years, and for that reason, this guy takes the number 10 slot. Coming in at number 9, we have this guy. It is the Beast Wars Megatron. Yes, from the Kingdom line. And honestly, a lot of people said the exact same. When they voted for this guy, they said the same things as they did for Optimus Primal. They said this is the Megatron that us fans have been waiting for a long time. Now, to be fair, there are people I bet that would vote for this as worst, because I have heard of issues with the shoulders shearing off. I have heard of breakage at the hip. Some people said that the skin, I'll call it, has peeled off theirs. I'm not really sure how that happens. I haven't noticed it with mine. Mine's pretty great, actually. Real happy with this. The heft, the size, the articulation, the bulk, the transformation. Though there are a couple of fiddly little things with the transformation. But like, I'm real happy with this. I understand why he's on the list. I get it, man. And enough fans agree that he is the kind of quintessential mainline version of Beast Wars Megatron that this guy was able to take the number 9 slot. Coming in at number 8 is another kind of late release and something kind of unexpected, because honestly I've seen a few of these around and they haven't exactly been flying off the shelves, even though I absolutely do adore it and think it deserves a place here probably, and that being 86 Wreck-Gar, man. I'm real happy with this. This is like the Wreck-Gar I've always wanted. I love the RTS. I'm even okay with the Power of the Primes, but neither of them were exactly quintessential. Both were somewhat stylized. This is pretty quintessential, especially in robot mode, with some excellent paint applications. Arguably, there could be an alternate coloration, especially on the lower legs, depending on the episode you go with. I explained all that differentiation when I did the review. And you definitely should know that one wheel is specifically for the back, one wheel is specifically for the front, so that the guy can roll. The way the backpack condenses, I think, is brilliant. The size is good. Honestly, we know we're getting this mold reused as other Junkions, certainly Junk Heap, I think, and I'm in for it because I love it. Is the motorcycle mode perfect? No. But it's definitely serviceable, it's definitely passable, and it definitely looks like Wreck-Gar in both modes. I think this might be about as ideal as we're going to get, and enough people said the exact same thing when they voted for him, that he was able to garner enough support to take the number 8 slot. Coming in at number 7 is another unexpected one, but another one that came in explicitly, I think, because of people waiting so long for it. Very much like the votes for Optimus Primal and Megatron were, so were the votes for this guy. It is the buzzworthy Origins Bumblebee that turns into his Cybertronian mode, that comes with the Energon rods and, you know, his little blaster and his backpack and whatnot. As a robot, I think it's a good looking Bumblebee. Honestly, I really do. I like the proportions and whatnot. I think it's pretty good. He has excellent articulation. I wish we didn't have the kibble on the side of the leg. I wish there was something else that could have been done with that. But it's a pretty good robot. Where this guy shines is the alt mode. It looks like the way he was in that More Than Meets the Eye episode right at the very beginning, and fans have been clamoring for that sort of Bumblebee, well, for 35 plus years, I guess. 35 years, whatever it is. I get it. It's one of those long-awaited, almost kind of like grail pieces for a lot of fans. Certainly enough fans that this guy was able to take the number 7 slot. Coming in at number 6 is the one that baffles me the absolute most, and it's this guy. It is the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. we all know how I feel about this. And honestly, if you're a huge fan of this, you're probably not going to want to watch my best and worst of 2021, my personal best and worst of 2021. I don't understand why this got the supporter votes it did. It's a mediocre deluxe that for some people, for some reason, people adore and think there's something special about. The math doesn't lie, the numbers don't lie. It's an all right deluxe. Why anybody ever supported this at a Voyager is beyond me, and the president, it has said, has been real bad for pricing and where the future goes. But whatever, people like it. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? Enough people do support it. Enough people thought it was one of the best of the year that it garnered enough support to take the number 6 slot. And a hush falls over the crowd because we are at the most coveted of locations. You know where we are. We are at the halfway mark. And at the halfway mark, we have another one that sort of surprises me because I've heard a lot of people complain about this guy. So I'm surprised that he got the support as one of the best that he got. Who am I talking about? Studio Series 86 Slug or Slag, whatever name you prefer to use for him. I love the guy. Honestly, I think it's really well done, but a lot of people said that they found the transformation cumbersome and finicky, especially trying to put the tail in. A lot of people said that they broke off these pieces up here on his shoulder, and honestly, Daniel isn't included. A lot of people said, I vote for the Dinobot, not Daniel. Didn't need Daniel. Don't want Daniel. Right now, he's just on his shoulder because I had to put it somewhere. Yeah, I get it. I support it. I think it makes sense that this guy would be on the list. But I'm just surprised because I know a number of people have encountered certain problems and issues with him. I don't know. I don't know where you fall, but I know that enough fans fell on the side of good, fell on the side of supporting this guy that he was able to take the number 5 slot. Coming in at number 4 is a character that I think will appear on the lists of several people for 2021. I got a funny feeling he's going to appear on the lists for several people in 2022. Also, since he's getting a re-release in the Legacy line. Who am I talking about? The Decepticon leader himself, the mighty Galvatron. Now, this is the Kingdom version that had the goop on him. I've removed it. On the Legacy version, that seems to be removed. I don't think there's any other coloration differences. I did do a little bit of custom paint work on mine. This is a true blue leader. It has the mass, it has the engineering, it has the complexity. My shoulders were the wrong way, not that it affected anything, but good buddy of the channel, Justin of the 3D Corner, he was able to turn them around for me, lickety split. Scared the life out of me, but he was able to do it lickety split. Yeah, I love this guy. I really do. I'm surprised how much I love this guy because for me, he had to be better than the Unique Toys Mania King. While I don't think he's better than that, I think that they're about equal, honestly. The transformation here is kind of brilliant. Now, I've heard a couple of people say, like, certain things, especially the arms, didn't lock in on theirs. Mine had the shoulders the wrong way, and my arms still locked in, so I don't know. I don't know if I was just lucky. I don't know if I applied extra pressure. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people had problems with the Quintesson faces too, right? Back in the Earthrise days. I never had any problems with that either. So I don't know what to tell you, but I can tell you that this guy has the engineering, he has the color, he has the mass, he has the look, he has the heft. He has all that it takes to be number 4. Oh, buddy, here we are at top 3 time. Top 3 time, and in fact, number 3 and number 2 were separated by 1 vote. So who came in at number 3? I support this one. It is the Rodimus Prime from the Kingdom line. It is the Commander Class Rodimus Prime. Now, I think that this, deserves to be on here, and the math says, yeah, it actually is a Commander, which I find hilarious because so many people have said, like, it's overpriced, it's not Commander. Actually, the math supports that it is. Barely, but it is. They can't cut any more corners, they can't take anything out, they can't downsize, they can't remove paint, they can't remove parts count, nothing. If they remove one more thing, then it's no longer Commander class. It'll be below that value. This still is. but barely. And I do that analysis, of course, in the review. And I did paint the wheels, I guess, or the hubcaps, or whatever you want to call it. I also think that while this is, a true commander class, but barely, I would also make the argument and agree with everybody else that the canopy up here should have had more red coming out on it, so it looks a little less hot roddy and a little more Rodimus Prime-esque, and that the overall trailer as a whole probably should have been downsized and able to push on a little bit tighter than it does here. So the vehicle mode, probably not perfect, but man, the transformation is beautifully bonkers, and the resulting robot mode is gorgeously glorious and slathered with paint. I might not be a hot rod fan or understand the support for that, but I totally get it here. And I've said many occasions, if you can only get one of them, get this guy. That's my take on it, because the analysis and the math supported it. I get it. I understand it. I know why so many fans voted for this guy, and I can support it too. And you know what? Enough people think along the same lines that this guy was able to take the number 3 slot. Man, oh man, fan voted number 2 Transformer release of 2021, and I get this one as well. Was not in for this guy, was not going to get it. Had a loan of one to review. After the review, I was like, I need to get this. Even Starscream wife said, you need to get this. It's Studio Series 86 Grimlock. Yeah, now I've given him the FOC sword. I've removed the chest plate piece. And I have forearm fillers on them. But yeah, I get this. The bulk, the size, the heft. This is, again, a true leader. It has the mass. It has the heft. It has the chunkiness. It has familiar yet unique engineering all at the same time. I don't feel like I'm going to break anything. I've heard a couple of people say that they broke something on their Grimlock. I don't understand how. I'm not sure what you're breaking. One guy, I think it was D. Gray, if I'm not mistaken, shout out to you, D, said, I believe, he can correct me if he sees this, I believe he said that he broke some peg on the back legs or something 3 times. It had to be a bad batch, man. It had to be, because I've never heard anything like that. Love this guy. Actually, this year, I reviewed as well the Masterpiece version of Grimlock, and a lot of people said this is a masterpiece. No, this is way better than the flimsy, finicky Masterpiece. I enjoy this more. The Masterpiece is fine. This, honestly, and this is mainline and cheaper, I think this is infinitely better. I get it. I support what the fans' votes say here. I understand this one, and you know what? A lot of people really love this guy enough that he was able to take the number 2 slot. And number 1 Transformers release of 2021 blew everything else out of the water. It was a wild win. Clear win. Should come as no surprise to anyone. Should be absolutely anticlimactic. Far and away, early on, took the lead and never let up. It is, according to fans, the best value for money. It is, according to fans, everything that's right with Transformers. It is Kingdom Cyclonus. I get this one too. It was the number 1 for all of the War for Cybertron trilogy. And it's number 1 for 2021. The articulation is stupendous. The transformation is inspired, and as I was unfurling pieces and parts, especially in the core of his body, I kept getting surprised with the detail and the engineering and the thought that went into this guy. He is clean, he is sleek from all angles, all modes. Some people have been concerned about the knees, but the knees just give you extra versatility to make them taller or shorter to suit your needs. I don't know if there's anything to dislike here. I really don't. This is what a Voyager should be. This is everything that's right. This is what every Voyager should aspire to be. It has the mass of a Voyager. It has the paint. It has the engineering, the parts count, the articulation. It wins across the board on every level. And you know what? Enough fans felt the same way, that this guy, no problem, took the number 1 slot. There you go, man. 10 down to 1 according to fan votes. And you know what? There's a lot here that I still think is subjective and up for debate. We use the votes because the votes are, honestly, the biggest, best chance for the fans to have their say. And, you know, if something is good enough, or bad enough, depending on the topic, it'll get the support. The fans will support it. Or not support it, as the case may be. So, like, regardless of what you think, regardless of what I think, these are the 10 that the fans felt were the best. There are ones on here I agree with. There are ones on here I don't agree with. The top of the list I really do sort of agree with. There are ones that were released that, honestly, I'm a bit shocked that they didn't make it or even get a vote. Like, for example, I thought that Optus Nox or Optus Pexus or whatever it is, I thought that that was going to make it. I really did. What about some of the, like, Chang Toys versions, or Chung Toys I think it might be, versions of some of the Predacons? What about the DX9 version of Menasor? You know, like, there's a lot that could have been on here. Speaking of votes, what else had some votes? Shattered Glass Blur, Airways... Pardon me. Shattered Glass Blur, Air Razor Pipes. I probably should have, like, refilmed that, but I'm not doing it at this point. Selects Galvatron. I didn't mention it during the Galvatron thing, but Reformatted Galvatron had a vote. Selects Galvatron had a vote. Red, Transformers Prime RC, had a vote. That one surprised me. MMC's Eris. Not really surprised there either. The Jurassic Park T-Rex, I don't know what it's called, but that one had a vote. Shattered Glass Megatron, Grindor. I thought Grindor was going to make it too, to be honest with you. What else do we have? Nemesis Primal, Nemesis Prime. Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, Planet X's. IDW Grimlock, which is a beautiful piece. I'm not even an IDW fan, but that thing is gorgeous. Super 7 Dead Optimus Prime, that one shocked me. Road Ranger, and what's one more we can throw in here? New Age Cliff Jumper. So, like, there was that and plenty more. Really, really interesting how the fans went this year. I feel like 2021 was a heck of a polarizing year for fans, with a lot of releases, official and third party, and a lot of subjectivity. Maybe more than we've ever had. But the votes don't lie, the voters don't lie. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us, and that somehow, someway, each and every single solitary day, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, baby, right here inside the videos.